All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got about 15 seconds left until it finishes loading in. Just about everybody's readying up now. We've got 16 drivers on the grid today, with Squiffs being out and Dedelson picking up a one-race suspension for his involvement in that back and forth little shoving match there. But Squiff's naughtiness unfortunately got him regrettably removed from this league, unfortunately. But we are headed to a track that I am actually kind of nervous about running around, Baku. I've done a fair bit of practice laps in the last couple of days, not as many as I normally would, just because after the mini championship I decided to take a couple of days off from driving. So I really didn't start my preparation until a couple days later than I normally would. But lots of walls, a very tough, unforgiving track. A lot of very tight passageways in areas where just a little bit under steel will absolutely send you out. Be very, very surprised if we make it to the end of this race without needing a new front wing. That being said, there's kind of some options we have in our strategy layout. Our ideal strategy is to be able to qualify through on the mediums and then go medium hard on the one stopper. Softs get absolutely demolished around this track. It's a ton of low speed exits, a lot of spinning up the rear tires. Even if you're careful to get on the throttle gradually and not getting a lot of wheel spin, it is still a very dangerous track for those rear tires. So we're going to be essentially going out, trying to keep an extra set of softs available to us if we do need to change up strategy and go to a two-stopper at the end of the race. We will be able to do that. But first things first, checking the weather. It's just going to be a little cloudy for the race. Qualifying is going to be nice and sunny. So let's get our setup on. Make sure we've got enough fuel to make it to the end of a lap. Let's get out there for our first flying laps here. Our first flying lap. We're going to go out on the softs first. The way I'm going to do it, I'm going to go out for a banker lap on the softs. I'm going to go out for a set on the mediums, and wait at the tail end of the session, go out on one last run of softs. If we do qualify on softs, we can make a one-stop work, going soft onto hard. It is a possible strategy for sure, but definitely not the ideal strategy. Let's get the car tuned up here as we kind of do our first little reconnaissance part of the lap. Got some daylight, not a lot of daylight around us. Everybody kind of getting out for those first laps pretty quickly. We're going to try and leave a little bit of space, kind of slow the pack a little bit. But here's the dangerous part, the castle section. You really come chucking it in here, and you just got to kind of hope that the front end sticks just the right amount. A little too much grip and you're on that inside left barrier, not enough grip and you're understeering straight into that wall in front of you that our boy Charles Leclerc made a bit of a mess of in his qualifying session last season. Alright, so we've left a little bit of breathing space. Let's get ourselves wound up. Let's try and put in a good banker lap here. One of the longest, it's not a true straight, but one of the longest flat out runs on the entire calendar. It's about 24 seconds of pedal to the metal. Coming out of that last corner, that fast left-right sweeper is fully flat out, and then we're shooting down this long straight into turn one. So we're going to grab as much track as we can here. A little wide on the exit, but a couple of 90-degree corners. Try and find a good braking point. We're a little early there, but this is going to be kind of the banker lap. We just don't want to hold up anybody behind us. If somebody starts pitching us behind, then we know we're not putting in a good lap. But try and find just before the 100-meter board there. Back end's kind of sliding. Ooh, kind of got away with some wall contact there. Luckily, reduced damage is what we're running on this league just because of the kind of connection glitches with everybody being all over the world. Sometimes there's a little lag and we want to kind of take care of that. But now is our first time really trying to carry some pace into the castle section here. Oh boy. Oh, it's so sketchy. Coming that last X is always just tough for me. But hey, we're through it rather safely at first. The wheels still seem to be mostly attached to the car. Picked up a bit of understeer. We might have a little bit of damage to that front wing, but Boomy already out in the 38s for his first lap. So quick first lap there. We'll be lucky to be in the 40s, I think. Probably closer to a 41 on this first lap. 39, 40, just inside the 41s. Let's turn the engine down. Get ourselves back to the pit lane here. Not a terrible first lap, though. Not a terrible first lap. It's going to be a tough one. A little mistake will absolutely catch you out, so definitely want to be careful. Looks like somebody's off down the escape route there. And we want to kind of ease our tires all the way back to the pit lane. Like I've said before, if we end up going in the top 10, then that top 10 time is the tires that you will start on. So we don't want to eat up these soft tires on our in lap.
Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty.
That's fine. Invalidate the lap that I'm not doing as a lap. I'm totally okay with that. You see that castle section is like barely a car's width across, so very sketchy getting through there. Yeah, we picked up it's only like lime green from that little bit of wall contact, so some people are kind of chucking it over that turn 15 curb there. When we go for our final run, we'll probably go for that to see if we can't really improve that time. Might actually even try it on that medium tire run. Let's see, we're still P5 at the moment. So you can see already like one flying out lap, one flying lap, and one in lap, and we're already, sitting on like 10% tire damage. So, and a tricky little like chicane into the pit lane here. But cross the line here. Let's go ahead and take in this first flying lap in there. We'll get our setup pulled up, and I'll kind of talk you through what I've done with this one here. An interesting course to set up for, city circuit, very tight corners, not a lot of room to work around it, but also that big, long straight. So at a track like Italy and Monza, where it is a lot of long straights, but there's not a lot of walls to contend with, you can really strip that downforce off and go purely for straight line speed. But there's such a technical sector 2 to this track that you really have no choice but to kind of compromise your setup a little bit. Let's see, 11 minutes left at the moment. Let's do a quick run of the car setup. So we're going 4-5 on the wing, so everything clicked down a little bit less in the front than the rear. Transmission-wise, a very open differential to really help those rear tires rotate independently, not slip as much as possible. Suspension geometry, we're running a little bit extra camber on the front and rear in order to help kind of lean on those tires in the corners, but we've taken a lot of, basically all the toe out of front and rear in order to really help out with that straight line speed. City circuit setup, very soft front and rear suspension. Anti-roll bar a little higher in the front to help with that nose in. Even though we're riding the curbs, we've got the front and rear ride height fairly low. And then tire-wise, we're running slightly higher pressure in the front, pretty much balanced in the rear to try and maintain a little bit of help in keeping those rear tires from spinning up. And then the extra front tire pressure should help with our straight line speed there. And we really don't have to worry about overheating the fronts that much around this track. It's really not going to eat the fronts. In my testing, we're wearing probably twice the fronts, half as much as we're wearing the rears out. So let's see, 10:04. We should have enough time. We'll go ahead and go out on these mediums. We should have just enough time to get back in the pits, slap on those softs, and get a final run in for this qualifying session. But hopefully we've got some repair to that wing. Hopefully it's fixed up. Okay. It is indeed. We'll let Voki come through, coming out of the pit lane there. Not sure if he's on a flying lap or not, but just definitely don't want to be causing him any trouble. So now we're going to go ahead and when we run this lap on the mediums, we're going to try and attack just a little bit more. We're going to move the brake bias a click more forward, because especially as these tires get harder, that, you know, rear locking under braking becomes a bigger and bigger potential issue. So we're definitely going to try and mitigate that into these heavy braking zones. I guess he's pulling over for us. So we'll go ahead and go on through. For the out lap, you really don't have to nail that last corner. There's so much time to get yourself back up to speed. Especially coming through the sweepers, you're kind of capped at speed there. So
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
here we go. All right, Jeff. 2 laps fuel range, so DRS wide open. Let's try and make as much use of this track as we possibly can here. Back end got a little away, but we're a little quicker through turn 1. Okay, up a little bit more in turn 2, running about 3/10 up. You just got to be nice and clean here. Here you got a chance for a very good lap.
You're in the top 10 now. Keep it up.
No, a little bit of lockup coming in turn. Cost us a fair bit of time through that little sector. Want to try and avoid those curbs where you can. They're pretty hefty. Didn't quite get the nose in. You want to kind of put your left front on that curb to really get the maximum time entering the castle section. About a half a second up at the moment. We'll play it safe. We won't go for the curb beat strat. Do the normal run through that corner. Get about 6/10 there. Let's just be clean the rest of the way to the start finish line. Slid a little bit coming out of that corner, but we're going to pick up a good over a half second, and that'll put us down into the 40s, about a 40.5. So not our best lap of all time, but still not bad. And in a position to qualify on the mediums there. So we could be starting on the medium tire with a good tire strategy here. Right now P6 at the moment. Realistically, around this track, with the amount of, as you can see, all the low speed acceleration zones, really having to try and dig those rear tires in to get off the lines, really eats up, especially those soft tires. The soft tires, even on light fuel loads, are like at the end of a race, are only good for about 6 or 7 laps. At the start of a race, you're really stretching them to get those first 7 laps in, or 6 even, to make that tire change. Whereas on the starting on the mediums, you're going to get about 11 or 12 laps of the 26 lap race in. So you will have a much better tire opportunity. And especially if we do that, we're going to keep a set of softs nice and happy to keep. We're back down to P8. That's all right. We're going to keep an extra set of softs, so if we do find ourselves in clear air, or if something happens to our race, We've got a pit stop in hand. We'll jump on those soft tires at the very end of the race, try and snag a fast lap, as it were. Tough pit lane to enter in here. It's just a weird... It's a weird, like, little chicane you have to hit to get in there. But let's get in the pit lane. Should have about a minute or so to chill before we can get on the next set of tires and go out for our final run on those softs. Alright, so we got 3:38 left. We need to be out on track by about the 2-minute 40 mark.
Our best lap so far is a 1-minute 40.4.
So let's get these soft tires on. Let's see what everybody's done. 38s. We improve by a half second. We'll be near the top 5 there. Kind of what we expected to see. My best trial time was in the 38.5s. So I can't go much faster than that. But right now, that medium tires might be the choice.
We're 16th in the speed trap,
Ooh, it's tough.
190.9 miles per hour.
It's a tough choice. It's a very tough choice. Let's see who's all behind. Do I want to go out on these softs? Yeah, we're going to do it.
All complete. Mechanics, please stand clear. We're ready
Let's
to go.
see. You know, if we end up in the top 5 of the grid, that'll be one of our best starting positions of the season, and I can't be too unhappy about that. And everybody else around is going to be starting on those on the soft tires as well. So definitely going to be a situation that we're just all going to have to. I'll have to live a tight pit exit there. You see, is that kind of have to pre-turn the wheel when it gives you control of the car. And it looks like Voki's having a little bit of an issue. We're just going to pass him for like the 4th time in this qualifying session. Just seemed to always be in the same kind of positions, essentially. We got plenty of time to get to the start-finish line to start our final flying lap of the session here. See if we'll be clean. We're gonna go pretty aggressive on it. So there's a chance that I end up with some broken pieces. It looks like there's some people that are pretty slow out in front. I have time to play with. I have time to let him get ahead. This is the jump line. You really just kind of cut that whole curve. Alright. I really hope he's going to be on a fast lap in front of us. There's Golly out in that Red Bull. But here we go. They're coming into the pit lane, or he's got to be on a quick lap. Falling P9 at the moment. He's on a fast lap. Okay. Gonna kind of be a little quieter.
Seconds left in the session.
Try and focus on this lap here. A little early on the brakes there. Invalidated the time. Just caught it a little bit. And it was a mess in the castle anyway. That's not super surprising to see that happen. Not super surprising. Well, yeah, you saw as I tried to get entering the castle right where I invalidated my lap, trying to get that front tire like right up on the curb there.
You dropped to P10. You're on the 5th row of the grid.
P10, but I'll be, no matter what, I'll still be on my mediums. Gonna do pit lane entry practice here. Okay, a little sketchy, but got it. We'll go ahead and pull in for the final results here. Alright, so no matter what, even if we get bumped out of the top 10, we'll be able to start on a fresh set of mediums. If we stay where we're at, just inside the top 10, we'll start on those mediums we qualified on, because they were a little better. And we still have that extra set of fresh softs in case we need to make a late adjustment to our strategies. Yeah, kind of unsurprising to see the mess in the middle there, but we are right there, P10 on the nose. We definitely could have improved, I think. NGP Racer's got a 5-position penalty. Is he going to be right in front of us or right behind us? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But man, 37.9, real quick there up at the top. Real fast. I mean, they're just going to kind of run away with it on it. I could have totally run with the 39 39s. I just kind of was a little off on this qualifying session, so, you know, it happens. But hopefully we can just have good, clean race pace. Hopefully no disasters at the start of the race here. Fingers crossed. Big fingers crossed here. We're going to want to get into the setup very quickly because they always overfuel the car like crazy. Yeah, they've got 29 laps of fuel for a 26-lap race. Let's turn that all the way down. There we go. Have to only do a little bit of fuel saving at some point. 11 and 15. We'll go. Yeah, we'll go with the set strategy. Make sure it's selected this time. Happened to us in the mini championship where it was not properly selected. Just a little overcast, so the tire temperatures will be able to stay down a little bit more. But we are on the outside of the grid here, so deep breath.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Why are they? Okay, there are a couple people resetting the track already. Try and be as gradual with those brake inputs as we can because I don't want to get rear-ended. We've pretty much got the tires up to proper temperature at this point.
Radar is clear. Weather is looking good for now.
Just want to keep those tires from getting too worn. Don't want to take anything out of those. You can have a good amount of time on the final straight to get some last temperature in the tires, so. We will do some final warming there. Make sure we're all good to go. But yeah, I think this race is definitely going to be one that's a bit of attrition. I think we're going to see some people really fall off the pace with damage. having to come in, get new front wings and such. Our goal here is to keep the front wing attached to the car as best as we can. And that should put us in a good position to run some consistent laps. Maybe even move ourselves up the grid. But I think pretty much everybody in front of us is on softs. More messes in front of us to warping them to the grid. Everybody's slowing down. Check it out, check it out, check it out. All right. Get a couple of burnouts to get those rear tires up to temperature, as our teammate is like literally inside of us as we get the cars warmed up together, thanks to Ghosty. That's a Haas and Haas. And now's the time for the big deep breath. Prepare for the usual mess into T1. This is a very short run in turn 1. Not at all like what your normal braking point is, so. Well, looks like a couple guys came together there. Okay. Surviving. A lot of concentration at the early stages here. This is a track I was genuinely nervous about the start of this race. Okay. Back end really didn't want to grip up coming out of the corner there. We are carrying that slight bit of wear from the qualifying session, so we're going to start the brake bias already in that 58% mode. Normally would start it on that 56 and then kind of dial it back in. Like NGP is closing up on us. Oh, looks like AWD got caught up in it. He's already in the pit lane. A little slow entering that chicane. That's going to put us under a little bit of pressure, but it's not really an area to make a move. I mean, everybody's kind of got a bit of a gentleman's agreement of if you're behind heading into the castle section, get yourself single file, get through safely. But at this point, I think we are legitimately the highest up runner on the medium tires, so we're in a very good position so far. Oh, provided I don't clip that wall. Hopefully that's not wing damage. I think it was soft enough contact. Yep, okay, we're still green. This is going to be where NGP is going to just tag us. We got the slipstream. We're just going to kind of go defensive to the inside for the moment. We grab a little bit of toe off of him.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
We're getting some pretty nasty push. A lot of understeer. Okay, I was a little early on the brakes there, trying to avoid that understeer, but he was also getting a little bit of a run. Oh, back end is way out on him. Ah, okay, good on you, NGP. I thought for sure he was going to take that position to kind of just NASCAR me out. I think I'm starting to struggle with tires. Somebody's off ahead.
Caution, caution.
Take it nice and slow. Make sure he's not backing out on the track. Looks like Habspan Nick has made his way past Sigali in front. Fast 6 is caught up. He's through NGP behind us. I think our poor run through the castle section put him under attack at one point. Use some of this overtake mode, just try and carry some good speed. I think we're outside of that 1 second mark at the moment. So we should be able to defend this position all right. Always back to Habspan Nick in front of us. How those tires doing? Still 24%. Okay. Not bad, not bad.
That's put you in 5th, P5.
Okay.
Caution, caution. The virtual safety car is out. Reduce speed and maintain a positive delta.
VSC is out. VSC is always
Okay,
sort of
slow
tricky.
down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace
Okay.
until the green
Timed
flag.
it up all right.
VSC ending. Wait for green. Green flag.
Timed up that VSC okay. Definitely got some faster guys coming up behind us, but we've got track position at the moment, and this is not an easy course to get around somebody on, as you've seen. Hopefully they don't try anything desperate and, you know, really send it into me. As you saw, like in qualifying, I could carry a lot more speed through the castle section, but right now I'm just kind of driving with an abundance of caution in that area. Nobody's really going to make any positions up on me. At the most, they'll make some time. but they're not going to be able to full on pass me through there. So it doesn't make any sense to, you know, risk too much coming through that corner. Only lap 5 here. We're still pretty early days in this race. Other tires looking 31%. Okay, not bad, not bad. It might be coming in a little earlier.
We're leading our teammate by 28.6 seconds.
Especially if we're gonna like drift it through T1 like that. Ooh, back end getting a little lively. We're just kind of holding pace to Gali in front of us though, so that's not too bad. Gotta be careful of those lockups though. This lap and next lap is when we're going to see a lot of the guys on softs coming in. So that's going to be our opportunity to get a little bit of clear air. Fortunately for us, that means they're going to get clear air, and the kind of defending I'm doing is going to essentially go away. They're going to have some daylight to work with. Because right now, these mediums are feeling a little rough. That's about the worst place you could offer me a new strategy, Jeff.
Got that confirmed.
Yeah, we'll come in lap 10. Whew. Okay, that was scary. Got a little wild coming out of that corner there. I think he's within a second of me now, so he should be closing me up. Unless he's diving into the pit lane, which is a possibility. Boom Tech taking over fastest lap of the race there. K3 on the mediums behind us, catching up a little bit. Gali should be in next lap. Man, rears are getting pretty lit up. I think I'm overheating them.
Be aware we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
You don't say, Jeff. You mean like how they were just falling away like 2 seconds ago? Because I did my sweet Fast and Furious impression of Tokyo Drift. Oh man. About 2.2 seconds back of Gali at the moment. Boy, I'm legit sweating running up this high in the order at the moment. Come on, he's got to be coming in. He's got to be coming in now. Okay, there he goes.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the hards.
Boom Tech coming up fast behind on his medium tires. He must be doing a two-stopper because I don't think there's any way that he's going soft and medium to the end. Especially since he pitted on lap, what, like 6? He must be just kind of relying on his pace, which, in all fairness, is a pretty good bet for him. But relying on that pace and going for the two-stopper, banking on being able to make up the time. I obviously don't have great lap times going. These tires are definitely feeling pretty rough at the moment. But we are surviving. Some of that electrical. Got about a 5-second gap behind us. Boomtech's in DRS range of K3 though, so he's going to get some serious pace there. But here we have led a lap in this league, finally. We have led a full darn lap around this league. We're on a pretty tough track too. Managed to avoid all the carnage at the start. Now it's just a matter of turning in good laps. Just keep the lap time up. Hopefully we can come out of the pits in a reasonable position. Boomtech is definitely chasing us down though. He is mad quick at the moment. And his teammate K3 coming as well. Just got to watch for that understeer through the castle section. For those who have been like watching my racing for a while, like through my career, you know I have a fairly smooth steering input kind of style. Like I try not to be too jerky with my inputs, but here, especially in that castle section, you really need to just kind of saw at it a bit to get a feel for where the limits are and really kind of riding that edge of grip on that tire. How we look in? Not bad. The fronts are actually wearing more than I thought they would.
Box, we're coming in this lap.
Let's see, okay. Projected to come out of the pits in 5th. We're going to go and turn the engine down, try and save some fuel. A little bit of oversteer moment there. Managed to catch it. No tank slapper into the wall. Boomtech still about that 3-second gap to us. I believe for this race, if I'm not mistaken, you'll have to ask in the chat later, I think this is the first race where Boomtech has made an adjustment to his assist. I believe he's not running any traction control this time around, which is a pretty daring track to make that adjustment to your play. Yeah, lost about a full second there. Knackered tires are knackered. Okay, here we go. All right, we managed to lead a few laps of this race somehow out there in front on our starting medium strat.
Go now.
It's like K3 is coming in for the same pit stop as we are.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops.
Okay, we've got 15 laps to go. We're in P4 at the moment. So we kind of get a feel for the hard tires while getting ourselves up to speed. Ooh. Ooh, a little more understeer on the hard tires. Gonna have to keep that into account. Nearly ended up in the barrier. Okay. Keeping that energy recharging. So we have an opportunity if we do catch somebody to attack with it. It's kind of the fingers crossed of it. Kind of hang out here. It's just a matter of staying consistent, staying consistent. I think Golly in front of us is gonna have to make another pit stop.
The gap to the car ahead is 5.1 seconds. Our gap behind is 5.3 seconds.
That gap behind a racer is kind of my concern. He raced us pretty hard at the start, kind of back and forth. I think he has a little better pace than me. Okay, 4.8. Making a little bit of ground on Golly. AWB's in the pits again. I think that's his third stop of the day. Not having the best not having the best time. Apologies for the silence mostly. It's, again, concentrating real hard here to try and make some moves here. What's our tire wear? It's still low, so we'll keep it on that 56% brake balance. Once it gets into about the 10% range, we'll click it forward to 58 on those rears. Still 5 and change to racer behind us. .9, so still hovering at about 5 seconds to go in front.
Fuel is at target -1. Let's turn the engine down, please.
Bayman has left the session again. He's not been having connection issues for most of this league, unfortunately. Kind of a bummer because when he's connected, he's pretty quick and is a good competitive driver, but when he has those connection issues, everything kind of goes out the window because his car starts rubber banding around. It's not super reliable where he or the other cars are on the track around him. 4.2, okay. We were a fair bit slower that lap though. 5.7 behind. NGP's on mediums. I think we got a lot of guys that started on the softs are going for a 2-stop. Okay, let's just make the change now. Really just trying to ease the throttle in as much as possible. Yeah, about 10% on the rears right now. In a good spot right here. Just have to keep encouraging myself, apparently. (14 of 26). Across the halfway point. Just 12 more trips of the old city to go. Should have plenty of tire. Should have plenty of tire.
Gap to car in front is 4.0 seconds.
Back end stepped out on us a little bit there. Let's turn up the engine, just catch some of that gap back. We closed it back to that 5.7. We'll use some of this electrical energy. Okay. And we're going to start saving through the castle sections of each lap. Basically on our drive
This pace
into
is strong, but be aware your tires need to go the distance.
turn 3, we're going to just kind of, in the deceleration phase, click it down like now to lean. We're going to keep it right there until we're basically coming out of the castle section. But golly's medium tires are really starting to fall off, it looks like. We'll click it back up. So yeah, see, we saved about 0.05 of a lap that time around. See what the gap is here. 3.6 in front. What's it behind? 5.6. So we've managed to hold it pretty much steady that time by. I am A-okay with that right now. A-okay. These guys are both on faster tires around me, but they've got to hit the lights eventually.
The car behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap.
Okay, Boomtech is on his 2 stop. That should get him to the end of the race, that set of mediums. Idle 3. Ten laps to go. Come on. Oof, almost took that corner a little tight. Stay focused. How's the tires looking? Good. Tires are looking fine. Nice and healthy at the moment. When we get to lap 20, we'll start saving through the castle again.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.0 seconds.
MGP's starting to catch us a little. Definitely handing time through the castle to the cars behind me, but you know what? Keep the front wing attached, I'm alright with it. Skittered a little bit wide there. There's no way Golly can go too much further on those tires. He's gonna have to come in. At some point, he's just gonna have to come in.
Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. They've entered the pit lane. They're on old mediums. The time last lap was a 1:44.7.
Okay. That's what I figured was gonna happen.
A small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Come on, Tice. Don't do this to me. Come on, Golly,
Reduce
get in
the
the pit
ERS
lane.
deployment, please. We need to charge the battery.
Who's in the pit? Somebody's in the pit lane ahead of us. Alright. Okay, Nemesis going on some soft tires. Okay, he's gonna have to clear MJ Povey.
Our gap to the car in front is 4.6
And
seconds.
Povey could very well catch up to me too. Looks like we're starting to catch some back marker traffic. But they'll be ghosted though. Did Golly have a mistake, or is Boomtech just running that quick on those softs? I think he's just running that quick on those softs. Okay, Nemesis is driving with a vengeance behind us. He's probably going to be about 2 seconds a lap faster than us. 2, maybe even 3 seconds on that stop. Probably able to turn in 42s or 43s. AW is going down another lap. Six laps to go. A little shaky through the castle section, but still keeping the car out of the barriers. That's all that really matters now. That's all that matters at this moment. Yeah, he took a huge chunk. He took like 3 seconds out of me there.
Okay, you're in the top 10.
Cool, 140. Yeah, he took like 5 seconds out of me that lap.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. The gap to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds.
Terrible. Terrible run through the castle there. Tires are definitely getting a little bit slick or slidey. .6 back. Come on. He's got to dive in. There's no way he's keeping those tires alive all the way to the end.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Battery charge is low. If we turn down the ERS deployment, we can harvest more energy.
I'm gonna try and not hold Nemesis up too much coming through. Come on. 4 laps to go.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Pretty obvious that Golly's staying out. We're not going to fight QX. We're just going to let him through.
Safety car deployed. The safety car has been deployed. Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack.
No! No! Come on! Oh, that's so disappointing. Oh, my bad, Nemesis. Sorry. I was really, oh my God. I was reeling Golly in so much. I was so close. I would have had him with 3 laps left. I would have had him. What caused that late safety car? I would really like to know what. Don't brake in the middle of the track, Nemesis. Come on, man. Now the question is, are we going to finish under the safety car?
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left. Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember, there is no overtaking until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags. Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Yellow flag.
Two laps.
battery charge is high. Let's increase ERS deployment to up the pace. There's only one lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race.
Let's conserve some fuel. Come on, scrap behind me.
Car behind has front wing damage. We'll have a harder time keeping up with you. Keep pushing.
Come on. Just need to be clean through these last two corners. No wheel spin. Get out of these corners nice and clean.
Gap to car in front is 2.5 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 3.8 seconds.
Need to carry the chicane clean. We're through. Oh man, an absolute war of attrition. We're gonna pick up our first podium, no penalties, absolute mayhem on the safety car restart. We're up to P2 with the penalties. Yeah! Oh man, what a freaking race. Oh, my heart is absolutely pounding. I'm sweating like an absolute madman. We picked up a second place around the street circuit of Baku. Oh man, I'm so pumped right now. Oh, I'm like in this league, my pace wise, I'm so happy to be scoring points, but to be in a position to survive all the mayhem at the start, to have a good tire strategy, and to just hang on in the chaos that was that restart, that basically green-white checkered. We came through, managed to pick up a P2. Oh man, that is absolute insanity. I cannot believe it. I absolutely cannot believe it. Oh, I thought my podium chances were absolutely demolished when the safety car came out. I thought we were going to finish under the safety car, but there I am on the podium. My car is in park ferme with the rest of the people standing up there. I am absolutely 100% pumped right now. That was an insane finish. Oh man, that is going to be so good for the championships. Oh man. We barely picked up any points over the course of this championship so far. We had disasters the first 4 races, and we've actually turned in a really good result here. If you can't tell, I'm absolutely buzzing. That was absolute insanity. I cannot believe it. All right, well, that is the end of this one as I try and take a little bit of a deep breath. But this is going to be a good one to put up. And thank you guys for coming with me on this one. But whew, that was a hell of a one. I will catch you guys on the next race, y'all. Peace out.